Every game master knows this struggle. You're frantically trying to take notes while also run the game session, and then afterwards you realize you've only got like 3 or 4 words written down. Well, what if you could just record your session, but then not have to listen back to hours of audio to remember what happened? Well, GM Assistant will take your game audio and convert it into all the notes you didn't take. In this video, I'll show you how to use GM Assistant. All you have to do is create an account, and then once you have an account, you create your campaign. You'll have to purchase some credits. Those will be about $2 per hour of audio you want to analyze. So a typical session would be about $6. And then you just need to fill in your campaign information. So for mine, it's Neverend's Arcane Task Force is the name of my campaign. We're running Dungeons and Dragons, and it is the fantasy genre. And let me fill in the player characters. Here you can see we have a full party of 6 characters, and they've got some interesting names. So we'll need to spell those out so that the tool will know how those names are spelled and what to listen for. I've also included who plays each character, because a lot of times when you're playing, you'll use the real person's name and not their character name. And also I've included their race and their class, which also help the tool figure things out. Then we've listed out some important NPCs, like the governor of Thornbrook Village. We've also listed out some important locations. For all these things, it helps the tool understand how to spell is the big one, but it also gives it some context around, okay, what are these different weird words that people are saying? Then once you have your campaign, you just create a session. You can name it whatever you want. I'm going to name mine Episode 1, Matters of the Arcane. This is the first session in my current campaign. I'm going to upload the audio file, which is just a recording of the session. We actually recorded it in Discord. We were playing remotely, but I've also done games where I've just used the voice memo app on my phone. And here we've got a 2 hours and 45 minute recording, and that's going to cost about $6, 272 credits. So we just upload the audio. In this case, it's MP3 format, but it could really be almost any format. Once it uploads, the tool will do its magic. This is probably going to take about 10 minutes for my 3-hour session. And then we get all the notes. And this is where it gets really cool. We get a full recap, which is paragraphs. It's like a synopsis of the session. There's a couple different versions of the recap. You also get a short recap, which is the one I like to read back to my players in the next session and remind them what happened. And then you get a couple different styles of recap. There's a Matt Mercer style recap. There's a Chaucer's poem style Middle English recap, and there's like a Dungeons and Daddies snarky recap as well. Session outline, which is a scene by scene breakdown of what happened in the session. It's kind of like a timeline of events. You also get all the locations that were discussed or visited. You got the NPCs that the players conversed with or discussed. All the spells that are cast by the players, or even special spells cast by enemies. And then loot, of course. Once you're happy, if you're happy with the analysis, you can copy it to the session page. Now, the session page, this is where you can actually edit the results. So let's say something's spelled wrong. Like here we've got societe, which is actually spelled right, but let's say we want it to be societe, which isn't really, I don't know, maybe that's a word. We can just do a find and replace and fix all the issues. A couple other features with a session. You can also make them public, so you want to share a session with your players or anyone else for that matter. By making it public, you'll get a public URL. Anyone with this link will be able to see the session details. We are adding campaign level sharing soon, but you can see here that they can see all the things you put in your session tab there. You can also export your session. So let's say you keep track of all your notes in another tool like Obsidian or Legend Keeper or Notion. You can export as either Markdown, HTML, or YAML for these other tools, and that will cover most of your bases. But that is a simple demo of GM Assistant.